Thanks a lot, sir, for providing me this opportunity. Around 9 years back, I was sitting in such an august audience in the Netaji Auditorium at IIT Kharagpur when the Golden Jubilee celebrations were being taken. Professor Natarajan was on the dais and he said a very starking thing, that think globally and act locally. So that thing perhaps struck and impressed upon me over there. And that's why we chose on this larger audience to work for a local audience, for a regional agenda. So UPTU Watch is carrying forward such a regional and a local agenda. And the bottom line which is trying to bridge the various gaps which we have been trying to understand and bridge since morning, from policies, practices and partnerships. The vital thing which we in our small journey of over 1 year, we could understand that it is the information gap. All the gyan which has been given across today, the humongous information which has been shared across, it is really probably not reaching to the last stakeholder. So this is perhaps like we are trying to create a bridge between the various stakeholders and publishing a monthly magazine for the last 1 year. We started with the vision, like can the techno managers from Uttar-Pradesh become the brand ambassadors of the state the way IITians have for India. So carrying forward that vision, of late we have concluded, we did a small dipstick study in the month of April last year, where it came about that the engineering talent pool of Uttar Pradesh is significantly better than the national average. That survey was carried across all the 5 regions of UP on a sample size of 1,500 students. So that gave us a further confidence in taking it forward. So I would formally request the panelists, we have a small report which our entire team has been compiling over a sample size of 9,000 students from 29 engineering colleges in 14 cities of UP. So the revelations are quite startling. We are distributing one flyer. So ma'am. So I would request the eminent panelists to please, I would request Dr. Ravi Gupta to please join in on this. Yeah, flyer. I would just quickly like to share some of the interesting findings of this talent pool survey, which is quite pertinent from today's discussion in enhancing the gross enrollment ratios in technical education across the country. Can I have the slide, please? Yeah. So this was the dipstick study which we had conducted in April last year, which said that on a standardized test score, the engineers from UPTU had performed significantly better than the national average. UP, it has been a serious concern, like UPCE 2010 saw a tremendous dip of 10.65% of the students appearing in the state engineering examination. Today, the installed capacity of seats in the entire state sits over 1,32,498 across BTech, MBA, MCA and B Pharma courses. Now what is, with this humongous number of seats and colleges is still there, the number of students is going down. So we thought of a regional agenda as to how the techno-managerial talent pool is spread even locally in the entire state. So how the seats, how the various branches of engineering, which are the major clusters, educational clusters in the entire state. So we did an analysis over it. And in the current survey which we have done, 42 colleges across 14 cities and 9,000 students have participated. Now interestingly, we had a questionnaire where 47 data fields were sought from the colleges, and the percentage completion, the data availability from the colleges was merely 35.08%. By what I mean, out of the various fields, even the data was not complete. If the information is not there, how the further processing and the evaluation will happen out of it? So this is a very interesting figure which came across. Contribution of engineering students vis-a-vis spread of senior secondary schools across UP. You would be startled to know that the so-called backward divisions, UP has 18 administrative divisions, the divisions of Allahabad, Bareilly, Chitrakoot, Jhansi, Lucknow and Meerut have the number of students they are contributing for the engineering studies is higher than their share in the senior secondary educational infrastructure in those divisions. Now this is somewhat which came out as a stark revelation for us. If we see the displacement of the students which is happening within the state, 32% of the students are able to find their engineering education locally within a radius of 30 kilometers. On a regional level, 9% students have to travel a distance of 3,200 kilometers, and a whopping 53% of the students are crisscrossing the state. There is a huge displacement which is happening, and 6% students in the engineering education domain are coming from outside UP. The gender distribution we found 20% women and 80% male. The average age of the graduating students from UP this year will be 22.29 years. So all these 9,000 students are those who would be graduating in this year 2011. If we see the board-wise distribution of students, UP board contributes 52% of the students who actually come in the technical institutions of UPTU, while CBSE has 37%. Now interestingly, UP has around 9,000 senior secondary schools affiliated to the UP board, which constitutes to be 87.55% of the senior secondary education, and that 87.55% is contributing a mere 55% of engineering talent pool. Like 55% of the UP board students are coming for the engineering education. On a different note, CBSE, which has around 900 schools in the state, and their percentage is a mere 10% of the senior secondary educational framework, and they contribute more than 36.57% of the engineering students. So if the UP board students who probably come from a poor strata and a different framework, they can also contribute a whole number in enrolling for the engineering education. Now if we see the academic performance, there has been a lot of debate about CBSE versus UP board, the state boards and all. We just plotted the performance of the students in the various branches of engineering board-wise. We see UP board students are neck and neck with the CBSE students, which are more, I will say, more resource-rich and more informed. Just a percentage transition graph across 10th, 12th and BTech. In UP, on an average, in the 12th class, a percentage is marginally increasing. The performance, academic performance, marginally increases. Just one of the other features which just came, the popular email services which the techno managers of UP, Gmail has probably the market share. So a lot of interesting revelations have come out in this report within the limited time frame which we could compile and do it with you. With all your cooperation, we would be bringing out much more extensive surveys in times to come. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.